I can't remember the exact term, but it's not about shooting to wound or shooting to injure. It's about taking down the suspect.
Right.
Period. Taking
Right.
them down. If they believe that they have a weapon or their life is in danger, their job is to take control of the situation by using that deadly force. And I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's their training.
Mhm.
Their
But
training is
then,
The
not
one thing,
shoot. Yeah,
it's it's really hard to just shoot somebody in the leg or
exactly.
just shoot them in the arm. And you can shoot somebody in the arm and they can still come get you, take your gun away, and shoot you.
You have to have
So
time. You
yeah,
have to be able to aim properly. This is not the Wild Wild West where you're a sharpshooter and you pull from the holster and you can hit them.
right.
You
It's not
need time
TV.
to aim.
It's I have a rude thing that I say about that with all these white people going around with their guns and they have their special alone time fantasy that they're going to be the amazing, calculate who the real aggressor is, blah blah blah. But you can't expect somebody to shoot to wound. If you pull your gun out, your intention has got to be to
Right.
kill
Right. Yep.
Right. That's
immediately. That's now the question is: do you pull your taser out, or do you pull your gun out?
well, well, yeah, that is true because now do tasers and guns look that much alike?
No,
they're
they
yellow.
don't.
They're
They
plastic.
talked about the woman cop who her taser was yellow.
And the
Mhm.
weight's considerably different.
And so when
Right.
she pulled it
No,
out,
no,
she
different.
didn't look to see that it was yellow.
And
She-
it's on the opposite side. It's on the
Yeah,
wing.
Right.
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 It's in a
There was no
different-
reason for that. Yeah.
Well, but you know
I think
what?
she lied.
Reaction.
He had to know.
It was a reaction.
But in the okay, so let me ask this. This is just a devil's advocate. So your heart is racing in the heat of the moment. You go to grab something because you fear for your life. You pick up and you say it's a taser, but then it's a gun and you shoot. Is that not conceivable that that could happen?
Yeah.
No. No.
I don't think so.
Wait, let's go back to the reasonable standard here. We're not talking about you and me. We're talking about a trained officer who spends hours in training where they go through a house or a suspicious environment and these things jump out and they got to say shoot or not shoot. Okay?
Remember,
For a living.
Other people that
All right.
were interested.
So,
in
She trained other officers.
The gun, and she was a trainer, exactly.
She's been there for
she
20
was
years.
training at the time, so she was not 100% focused.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you can't measure her by a layman's standard. She had training. The gun
Mhm.
yellow, it's on the opposite side of her shooting hand. She's trained to shoot or not shoot. And she had time to make that decision.
Well,
But and wasn't she also like in the police force for 26 years or something
Exactly.
like that? I mean,
No.
he was not a rookie.
the thing
This
is,
is exactly.
you can still call it a mistake, but you're wrong. You can call it a mistake. She made a mistake, but she's still wrong. and
Exactly.
she is going to fall on the sword for it because she knows she was wrong and there's no way around it, and she's not going to fight against it. She's going to plead out. So she is definitely going to fall on the sword because she knows she did something wrong.
But why
Right.
only manslaughter?
That's the plea.
Well, because I think
I
manslaughter
just know
also
there's no excuse for that.
manslaughter is you did something horrible, you did something stupid, it resulted in somebody being killed, but
Right.
you didn't decide I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, you
Was
had
it
no intent.
premeditated?
You didn't. Intention is important, and
Yeah.
so
But how do we know what was in her mind? How do we know that? I mean,
You won't.
we don't, right?
She said taser, taser. She thought she had her taser in her.
I think that is. I think that is true.
But that's
I think
what
that
I mean. That's what it's going to come down to. Remember, in a court of
Yeah.
law, you're dealing with attorneys that can twist, make things what it is.
Right.
Not a good attorney, they can convince a juror. But in this case, quite frankly, I don't think it's going to get that far. I think
I don't
she's
either.
going to get pleaded out, and she's going to take the fall, she's going to fall on the sword and she's going to take whatever they give her and they're going to go light on her because of the situation.
Jeb, is the NAACP taking a stand up there, taking a stand on what's happened in Elizabeth City? Have they come out and said anything at all?
No, we haven't. We haven't discussed it. We have a meeting next week, and it may come up. We may publish something on it. I try and keep what I do on the Facebook page for the NAACP is try and create a good base of media stories every day. I'm on there just to keep all sorts of issues on people's minds. Try and keep my readership informed, and I try and make it interesting, not just from the local perspective, but national. But in terms of a reaction, official reaction from our chapter, not yet. Stephen, let me back up a second. Wasn't it you that said you thought that her subconscious, the cop's subconscious, was saying defend with the gun, but her mind was saying I'm going to get my taser, and it was the subconscious that won.
My position is the subconscious of police in this country see black shoot, see white talk it out. That's the subconscious that's at work here, in my opinion, because it's happened so many times. If it was a one-off or a 2 or a 3, I get it, but it's
systematic.
For a black person to get a traffic stop is deadly.
Because here's one of the things that my friends talk to me about. The mindset of a police officer doing even a basic traffic stop, they have more information than you do. They know something that you don't know. You might know that, okay, I might have a warrant out, or I have something. They have the information. So this is why they approach high alert, high anxiety, because they already know why they're stopping you. May not.
I can appreciate that, but like I said, how many videos have you seen where they stop a white guy? He got a AR-15, and he's talking trash.
Exactly.
He's saying, "I'm gonna get you, buddy," and I'm gonna, I've seen them get out of the car and start fighting with police. They don't get shot.
Nope.
That's that predisposition that's being reinforced because nothing happens. We said it ourselves. This is the first time we've seen the blue wall crack, and the police said, "No, you were wrong."
Yeah.
Saw the video in Georgia where the woman was being pulled over for some type of traffic stop, and she dragged the police officer as she drove off in her car, white woman, and he didn't shoot, he didn't do anything. He eventually fell off the vehicle, and I don't know what happened after that. But you are right, there is a different standard.
It's a big difference. And the thing is that, as a black person, you are not given benefit of the doubt first. You're not.
Well, listen, let me share something that experienced me. I've been beat by the police. I was one night walking in my own community and happened to walk across a bridge, saw a dead bird on the street. Down below me was a grassed-in area. So I said the bird can decompose down in the grass, not on this. So I picked the bird up and I threw the bird over the bridge down to the grassed area. The police happened to see me. I got beat that night, and I got beat bad.
Jeez.
And the people that saw it were saying, they were yelling, police brutality, police brutality. But anyway, by the time I did, I got arrested. But by the time I went to court, the judge had me stand up. He said, "Sir, I apologize," and that was all that was done. "I'm sorry that happened to you. You're free to go."
Predisposition. I'm gonna hold on to that until I see a change.
Well, what did they assume? I mean, I'm trying to understand.
They said that I was throwing something on the car below. I said, "If you want to see what I threw down there, go down there and look for a dead bird." I threw a dead bird into the grassy area, and they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They assumed I was targeting, and they beat me. They beat me. My face was swollen. I mean, I got beat up. I got beat up.
I can say I'm lucky that in the 62 years of my life, I've never been in handcuffs or arrested.
Well, you're one of the lucky ones because.
But I have made sure, and I've traveled all over the country and the world doing sporting events, but I have had guns drawn down on me in Mississippi. I have had to be very careful late night, leaving a hotel early 4 a.m., driving through small towns of Alabama and getting pulled over through speed traps where the speed limit goes from 45 to 20 with no warning. And it's 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm heading to the airport. But I always have my story ready. You do the things you do and you ask for it. And I've always been lucky enough to have not encountered any serious things. And like I said, the last time I was stopped, it was almost 11 years ago. And it was right here in Florida, 5 miles away from where I live in the Port Orange area, because it was after midnight and they were targeting black folk that night, or just maybe any night, I don't know, because I had a, what was it? My light was too dim over the license plate in the back of my car.
And that's not even required.
And I got stopped 3 times in 1 week. And finally, because the police officer was a female, I felt a little bit more comfortable in saying, this is the 3rd time I've been stopped. My car is registered. My license plate is known in all the police departments. Did you run my plates to see who I am? Because I have media plates. I have a specific vanity plate and it's registered to the media. And everybody knew at the time I was the vice president, general manager of the PBS station. So everybody knew in that community who I was. So these were younger cops that did not know me. And after that night, I've never been stopped again.
Good news you can use for your life.